Hello, Burhan here again. Today we are going to learn application load balancer, but the path-based routing. So let's get on with the lab. So it's a very similar lab that we had before to application load balancer. We just need to add path-based routing to it. So we'll have to create instance. When we create instance on this particular one, we have to create 3 instances. So what we're going to see here differently than what we've seen before, we're going to create 2 instances at a time launching from EC2. So Linux web server -01. Okay. Linux web server 1. Name the instance anything you like, but you got to give a number to it because we're going to create 3. Linux web server 1, application OS image, Amazon machine image, AMI, Red Hat, and let's go to our screen. Large screen, full screen. Let's see full screen. Okay, so here we choose the Red Hat. Default Red Hat settings, instance type T2 micro, key pair login, existing key pair, or you can create it in a new key pair. We've got a Red Hat that we've already created once before. So, and here important part, network settings. We can do this on our PC, but we've learned that another time. So we're going to use a default VPC, and subnet we are going to use 2A, and enabled public IP. Select an existing security group, which is we'll select a Linux security group. Okay, we'll remember that. And advanced settings. Advanced settings, we go back to our user data. We'll have to copy some user data coding, which will given to us by myself or whoever is teaching you this particular lab. So we have pre-written the first code here. We are going to copy that one and go back to paste it. Okay, now we're about to launch the instance. However, one thing we have to make sure here, because we are going to create exactly the same instance, and we have to change the number of instances here to 2 instances. So launch an instance. Okay, fantastic. So our 2 identical instances are launching. We go back to EC2, you will see instance running, server 1 and server 1 again. So what we're going to do in a second, once we do the third one, we are going to change the name. This Linux web server, we can edit it to number 2. That's the ID can add later on. So let's launch our third instance. So we have to go to launch an instance, and we are going to name that Linux web server number 3. And same as again, Amazon Red Hat SSD volume type HVM, that's as default. T2 micro key pair login Red Hat, again choose the Red Hat. Network setting, edit network setting, and default VPC, and this time we will choose a different region now, C. Okay, auto assign public IP enabled. Select an existing security group. Choose a Linux security group that you've already done. If not, just create one, but it has to be the same as the one that we created. Storage, we leave it as it is. And advanced settings, go to the advanced settings and scroll down to user data. So we have to copy the user data again from our publication. This is the first one we done. For the other one, we've got a different coding, which is this one here, and copy that and paste it here. Paste it. So the launch instance will, this one we only need one instance. Okay, so we're creating the third instance. So essentially the path will allow those first two instances, and the third one will make the path through those applications. You might have an application on the first two one, and you might have pictures on the third one, so that allows a pathway. So let's go back to the instance running. So we should have 3 instances appearing here. 2 of them already 2x2 checks is done. So here one of them, because they are identical, all we got to do is edit the name from numbers 1 to 2. So to do that, click into the box and the cursor will appear. You just backspace it and you write there 02, and you have the tick button here. You have to click on the tick button for it to save the name of it. Okay, so that's done. So we're just waiting for our 2x2 checks to be completed by our server, and the first 2 servers are actually done. Sorry about that. Yeah, so the third instant two by two checks. We're just waiting for the third one. This is running. So while it starts, I'll put on to pause the video. So all our 2x2 checks are done. So now we will just go to the next stage in our lab. So we have to create target groups. So if you remember from the last lab, we have to create group. This time we have to create 2 target groups. One is instance 1 and 2, and the other one instance on its own. So we'll go to the create a target group, and instance basic configuration instance. Choose the target group date. This is target group TG1. Let's get right TG1 target group 1. Protocol HTTP and VPC. We leave it on the default. Normally we use our custom one, but in this particular lab we're gonna do it like this. And advanced health checks, we have to click here and we have to parameter to 2 healthy thresholds, and then attributes and tags are optional. Next, and we will see our 3 instances appearing there. So we've got to click here, instance 1 and 2, okay, and we have to include as pending to below, and then once we move those 2 instances here, 1 and 2, we then create the target group. So the target group is successfully created. So what we got to do, we've got to create a target group for the 3rd instance on its own. So you go back into the target groups, again, create a target group, instance, target group name is TG2, target group 2, and VPC, we'll leave it default, and advanced health checks, we then parameter to set to 2, up to 2, and we go next here. So we'll click on the 3rd one, and we click it include as pending below, and then create the target group. Right. Now, what we got to do here, we'll just have to make sure that we've got them. Okay, excellent. So we've got to create the load balancing now. And we go to load balancing, click on load balancer, create a load balancer. So we need to choose application load balancer here. Click on create, and we've got the name our balancer. We can type in demo ALP application load balancer IP4 internet facing. Our target here is VPC, the default one, and availability zones. So we've got to create of these ones. We choose first 2, 1, which is that one, and 2 is the second instant. Okay, and security groups, we have to type in the Linux one, which is not the default one. We chose the Linux one. We click on that one, and here we have to do, what we've got to do here is the target 1, okay, or no, target 2 here, sorry. Okay, default action is target 1. Okay, target 1, and so what we got to do is okay, so create the load balancer. So we've created our load balancer. Okay, now the second part on this one is actually making the path based routing to the target group 2. So we've got to go into the load balancer, and then we'll have to wait provisioning state to change the available. So we go to click here on the load balancer, and this particular state, it needs to be available and green. So until then, I'll pause the video so we don't have to waste video time. So as you can see, demo actually has had active state now. So The next step now, we have to path-based routing to the, so from the load balancer, wait, click on the load balancer name and listeners and rules. So we've got to click on rule here, 1, and then what we got to do, we have to put some parameters there. So to be able to do that, as you can see here, listeners rule, add one, click on rule, add rule. So what we got to do is we have to click on add rule here. Our first rule is we have to write there same as the one that was given to us here, courses / courses and star. So let's type in there slash and star. But we have to name it with path. Give a name of it, which is path based. And add condition. And we have to choose path from here, and the item is /course. So it's dot. Confirm, and then we click on next there. Priority 1. We have to choose here target 2, and then it is 1. Next, and priority number 1. Next, and create. So once we create the path, it's all done. We go to the instance. Go to the instance. All our instances running. Go to the third instance and copy that. Public IP DNS here. So after copying public IP DNS, we go to our web browser and we open and paste the web address here and press enter. You will see IP is working on EU West internal running in AP South B. So all we got to do is here with the /courses, and it should appear the website as in the AWS after we type in that one. the screen should change to AWS. Once you get the AWS signal and written there, that means whatever you just try to establish is all connected and working. Right, thank you for watching our video. What we got to do is we have to now switch off everything so that the instance doesn't run unnecessarily and get charged. So get rid of this particular one and go back to the instance and delete all the instance, please. Change the state of the instance to terminate. So terminate and delete the instance. Say yes. Now we have to do a couple of more things here. So we have to go to the load balancer. So we have to delete the load balancer demo here so that it doesn't run. Delete the load balancer. Type in there confirm and delete it. Right, that's also successfully deleted. Now we've got to delete the tags on the target groups. TG1 and TG2, you can click them both at the same time and just click on actions, delete and confirm yes. That's it, all done, and we'll see you for the next lab. Thank you for watching. Any questions, please do not hesitate to ask in the chat if you watch this on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much.